Yeah, when you first sent that to me and I saw those pictures, I was like, wow. I never realized that this thing was still even around. Oh, now this is an old shot of my dad, but he was a character. I mean, he was always cutting up. And that's what that was there. I mean, the guy was no two ways about it. He was probably one of the premier custom fabricators, and he worked with Bears for about 6 or 7 years. And that's where they did, all the TV stuff. I mean, the Munster coaches and the Batmobiles and all of that. So the objective was, we'll make real life replicas of what these toys do, and then we'll sell the toys to the kids, and then we'll be able to bring people to the show, and we'll see the actual real version of the toy in action. That was a Gremlin that we started with, was an AMC Gremlin. Probably one of the very first detonations. That's the tank that held the gas that blew the hood off. And then these were aluminum frames that we had made. These were all fiberglass pieces. And these are the rams that shot up, that actually
I see. Those rams are
hood.
up probably a foot or more.
At this point, they've been detonated. So what happens is when you push the button inside the car, it would simultaneously hit all 4 of these. And what we were trying to get all the timing coordinated on was all 4 of those rams had to hit at exactly the same time. Otherwise, that hood wouldn't go up straight. We had smoke flares in there that would, because again, it was supposed to be a big production. That was the whole point. What we were trying to accomplish, what they had hired us to do, was to make this thing reusable. You would go out and blow it up, snap it back together again, just like the toy, and go to the next fair or wherever you were going and do it again.
Yeah.
So we were getting ready to do this, and so all the guys in the development came down to watch the first time that we detonated.
Where's the beer?
Yeah, exactly. When I was a kid and that movie came out, and I was an usher in the movie theater, and I saw the movie 6,000 times, because when you're an usher at the movie theater, you see the same movie until it stops running. And so it ran for quite some time, and I remember there was a scene in that movie where George Hamilton was playing Knievel, and he had the cane with the initials in it. And he was standing there holding the cane. And the first time Knievel came to our shop to see the progress of the car, he was driving a Ferrari. Anyway, he came to see it, and he got out of his car, and he had that cane. Mm-hmm. I remember looking at that cane, and again, it had been 4 years earlier when I was in the movie theater working as an usher. I saw the movie, and I went, "That's the cane. That's the one I saw in the movie." And he's standing there holding that, and so my dad says, "Well, you want to come down and take a look at it?" And he looked, and he kind of got this look on his face, was like, "Don't want to do that." Did not want to walk that far. And I remember when he was walking around the shop, you could just tell, man, he was busted up pretty good. The whole point of all of that was to put together this traveling stunt show where they would go from place to place and put on this show and get people to show up.
Is that you in there with all that hair?
That's me with all the hair, yeah. Back in the day.
And climbing into it.
Oh, yeah.
You have personally done that.
Oh, yeah. Multiple times. I fell asleep behind the steering wheel of that thing. We had a deadline to get it shipped out, and we had literally been awake for 2 days. Day and night. So it was probably like the 42nd or 43rd hour at this point. And I was literally falling asleep. And my dad would keep, screaming, "Wake up, you haven't still just got me." And I'm behind the steering wheel, I'm wiring up switches or something. I remember I'm sitting there with the pair of electrical connectors in my hand, and I got a crimping tool, and I'm crimping a wire, and I just literally
Poor thing.
My dad's giving me the elbow to wake me back up again, and we had to get it on a trailer to get it down to LAX, and so we had to have it done by that point in time.
How old were you?
I was 17 or 18, I think.
Oh my gosh.
That was another thing. When he came to our shop, we had a big sign in the front of the shop that faced the road that said Ferrari on it. And so the next thing I know, we got Ferraris coming in like crazy, people wanting body work done on them. Well, when Knievel came that day, he saw the sign, "You guys work on Ferraris?" He had a Daytona that supposedly his girlfriend had crashed into a guardrail. He was building a house at that time in Butte, which was his hometown. And he had gone up there, and again, this was during the heyday, and he had gone up there so many times during the construction of this And he would say, I don't like that, move that over here. I want this room bigger, knock this wall out. And he had done this on multiple occasions. Now again, bearing in mind at that time, he was in his heyday. He had multiple cars. He drives up there and pulls onto the job site and tells this construction foreman that he wants this wall taken out and something else done. And the guy looked at him and said, no, we're not tearing anything else down. We're gonna finish the house. When we're done with the house, if you wanna tear something else apart, we'll tear it apart at that point. And he got into whatever he was driving and he drove it through the wall. Crashed the car up really bad. Into the wall, backed it out, got out, looked at the guy and said, there, I tore the SOB down. You build it like I said I wanted. And then took off. So, I mean, that's the kind of stuff that he was prone to doing. And he wanted to bring it into the shop so that we could fix it. We did, we brought it in. It was a gold Daytona, I forget what year it was. It had crashed the left front corner of it. And again, those are all handmade. So, you get underneath it there and it's all pieces of pipe that are welded together by hand with, literally with gas torches. And so I remember looking at that car for the first time, but that was his. We fixed that for him. The same thing, he saw the sign. And so that ended up turning into, we fixed his Ferrari in addition to building the car.
What are the chances his girlfriend wrecked that car?
Yeah, well, who's to say?
We did a fine job.
Oh, there were so many of us that worked. I mean, everybody that you saw in those photos, Bill and my brother and my dad and myself, and there were a bunch of us that were working on that thing. So.
Okay, buddy. Well, thanks for coming to the museum.
Hey, thanks for coming over. It's great to meet you.